So let's just get right into it. At the time of recording this, we're literally just 3 to 4 days away from the next Blue Lock Rivals update. And yesterday, some new leaks dropped that gave us a pretty good hint at what to expect. Based on what was said in the message, it looks like we're getting a QOL, quality of life, update this week. Which means, most likely, no reworks, no new styles, nothing like that. Just a big update aimed at improving the core systems and balance. But here's where it gets exciting. We're finally getting our first MVP animation in the game. If you've ever played something like Azure Latch, then you'll know the vibe. After the match ends, whoever was MVP gets their own special animation. And now, it looks like Loki is going to be the first style in Blue Lock Rivals to get that treatment. It's kind of wild, honestly. Imagine finishing a match, and boom. Your Loki player gets this full-on MVP goal celebration animation. That's the kind of stuff that really adds to the experience and makes you feel like you earned that moment. Now, just to spoil the video a little ahead of time, I really think we're going to see Aiku get nerfed in this QOL update. And more specifically, it seems like his Sixth Sense move, the one where he saves pretty much every shot that enters the penalty area, is finally getting toned down. People have been saying that his regular territory move is actually better than his Awakened Basilisk, which is kinda wild. And honestly, I agree. That zone was just too much. There's also a poll where one of the devs asked for ideas on how to nerf Aiku. And here's what devs came up with. Firstly, territory should go on cooldown if used before the ball enters the area. Also, next one, territory should not freeze the ball. Moving on to the third idea, Periscope should redirect the ball instead of being a trap. It should make Aiku fall faster. And next one, Periscope and territory should require aiming. You have to lock onto the ball before activating. And finally, just remove Periscope and territory entirely. Guess which one won? Yep, the last one. Overwhelmingly, people voted to just remove those two moves completely. And after that, the devs ran another poll asking if Sixth Sense and territory should be replaced with something else. Over 68% voted yes, so it's clear the community is fed up with those mechanics, and the devs are listening. Personally, I'm all in on the idea of going back to pre-rework Aiku. Just give his snake animation a new red visual and keep his Awakened Striker move. Boom, balanced and worthy of his mythic tier. Now let's talk Loki. There's been a lot of talk about whether he's actually strong or not. Some people are upset that a master rarity style with a 0.15% drop rate and lucky spins is slower than base Chigiri. But I think Loki is still super strong. I've played against him a bunch, and he's one of the most annoying styles to go up against. He can block almost every shot, shut down Kaiser impact with his two core moves, and his awakening just takes things to the next level. That being said, I'm glad his special shot move is still bugged, because if it worked as intended, he'd be broken. Still, I wouldn't mind if they buffed his speed just a bit and fixed that broken shot. And, oh, one more thing that kind of bugs me. In his Awakened move, Loki has this line where he says, Kaiser impact is too slow. But here's the thing. If Kaiser's move doesn't even show up during the animation, that line just feels out of place. It makes me think they nerfed Kaiser's shot speed just so that line would make sense in the animation. And if that's true, maybe it's time to bring Kaiser's speed back up. He used to be the best world-class style in the game, and now Sei has kind of taken over that spot. I mean, I'm happy for Sei, but let's not turn Kaiser into a mid-tier style. That move was supposed to be the fastest in the manga. Alright, moving on. One of the biggest features coming in this update is that MVP animation I mentioned earlier. From what we've seen, it seems like it triggers either after a goal or at the end of the match. The message specifically called it Loki MVP Goal Animation, so it's a bit unclear. But if it plays every time Loki scores, that might get old fast. I'm hoping it only plays if you're actually MVP at the end of the game. Also, based on what was said, this is the first of its kind. The devs wrote something like, "We want you guys to feel like the protagonist after you score," which makes me think MVP animations will be exclusive to Master Rarity styles, at least for now. Later on, maybe world-class styles will get them too, if the community pushes hard enough. And honestly, if it works like Kaiser's goal animation, where he celebrates mid-shot and then scores during the celebration. That could be really cool. But I don't think people will want to sit through a 13-second cutscene after every goal. That might get annoying. And yeah, honestly, I think the devs are starting to realize that they really need to step things up when it comes to future updates. Not just pushing out content, but actually raising the bar, better animations, more polished styles, and just overall higher quality updates. If you watched my last video, you'll remember the devs actually dropped like 3 or 4 different polls about reworks, and Baru and Nagi were the clear leaders, with even Rayo possibly getting one too. That shows they're aware of what the community wants, and now it's just about execution. I seriously hope they expand their animation team even more, and maybe even add a separate group that's strictly focused on game balance. Because let's be real, almost every reworked style except Baru has launched totally busted. It's like balancing is their biggest weakness right now. Even with Loki, if his pull rate wasn't so low, I'm pretty sure we'd see way more frustration. Instead of fixing him directly, they just made him super rare to get, with that 0.15% drop chance. That's not a fix. That's just avoiding the issue. And speaking of what's next, I really think King might be up for a rework soon. One of the newer devs who's been working specifically on style animations already has full animations for Loki done. Plus, he created that basilisk move for Aiku, where Aiku stops the ball with the snake and flicks it back using his head, just like in the manga. And this same dev even posted something like, "Should I cook King remake next?" And honestly, I'd love to see it. So far, everything he's worked on has looked amazing. I don't even need to hope at this point. I know he's going to deliver something clean for Baru next. Now we just wait for the next update and see what they cook. So yeah, that's basically everything we know for now about this upcoming QOL update. And honestly, I think it's going to be a big one. We're talking nerfs, buffs, animations, and probably the most attention Aiku and Loki have gotten since they dropped. And the fact that we're getting the first MVP animation in Blue Lock Rivals history, that's actually pretty exciting. But at the same time, it really shows that the devs are starting to test new ground, trying to make updates feel more polished, more cinematic, and just more rewarding overall. I hope they really commit to this direction, because if we're being honest, that's the level we all want from this game moving forward. And you know, if the devs continue this path, listening to polls, cleaning up balance, and giving actual visual upgrades to styles, I think the future of Blue Lock Rivals is going to be way more promising, especially with newer devs on the team now, like the one working on style animations. You can already see the quality jump just by comparing the newer stuff to the older releases. If this guy's next target is King, and he's the one who did Loki and Basilisk for Aiku, then yeah, sign me up. I'm all in for seeing what's next. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are you hyped for the MVP animation? Do you want Aiku's territory and periscope removed entirely or just tweaked? And what do you expect from King if he gets reworked next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading through everything. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, we're super close to hitting 20,000. So thank you in advance if you're helping make that happen. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.